The blue siren bars all the states and town, spreading a hello, giving voice to its sound.
Hello, Music Multiverse listeners, and welcome to Beyond Your Radio Album Listen Challenge Redux 2025. We've revamped the show. It's important to challenge ourselves in listening, and we feel this program needed a reboot. So, what do we mean by Redux, you might ask? Well, this album this week will be picked by the host and creator, and maybe for the first couple episodes. But you out there, you want to challenge an album? Send it. The panelists can send an album as well. Doesn't matter. It can come from anywhere, from anyone, and we will accept your challenge. All right. Okay, that's scary. I mean, this will open up the panelists to jump on no matter when, where, how. So we'll be doing this. So here are the Redux parts. So one album challenge to the entire field, not albums tossed at each other, because that seems to be a little problematic from time to time. The person who suggests the album will give the initial information, the name of the album, the band, where they're from, the year it was released. They will list the song titles and the overall, if they wanted to list the length of the album, it's fine. Or it can be given by the audience member if they want to come on the show, if they're the one that challenged and they're brave enough to come on Zoom, or, if they're, they can just dial it in. Otherwise, we'll get one of the panelists to introduce the album. Those that accept the challenge that are here on Zoom today will be introduced. Each one will give their impression of the album as well as what maybe they were expecting, like they used to do, and then any other tidbits, but they will score the album as we have in the past. Yes, I'm allowing decimal points now. Yay! I'm going to do hard math. Whatever. Then we will get an overall ranking of the album's average total from the panelists. So that'll be an average score. Now here's the kicker. The album that scores the best for the entire year, guess where they're headed?
To the challenge.
There you go. They're going to go
to the war.
Yeah, album wars. They will be an
album wars.
The album war. Yes.
I was going to say New York City, but hey.
Album wars in New York City.
Yes, we're going to have album wars in New York City.
Yeah.
Final comments by the suggester will be made at the end. Anything missed, further deductions, rabbit holes, and what they thought the panelists would think when they first, anything of that nature. So, before we get into the challenge, if you have not subscribed yet, man, this is the time to do so. As a subscriber, you're the person that can say, hey, I challenge you to this album. All right?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, there'll be 300 albums, and we'll have to put the show on every other day.
That'd be great.
Right? Yeah. So if you're a subscriber, we continue to be grateful, and we'll keep putting out shows, challenging ourselves, and you will hopefully, in the Music Multiverse, feel that we are the community as a whole. So that's the goal anyway. On the panel tonight, the man who is trying to petition for a Kingfish reunion cruise line, the Grateful Dude. She's the panelist, analyst, and Zeppelinist that knows damn well the power of music challenges. Deb Armitage Hicks Maloney.
Hello, everyone.
She's a foo for love. No fan club necessary. Susie Q. And I'll save these other ones for later when next time around when other members show up, right?
Yeah.
All right, so here it is. Tonight's album, which is behind me. Blues Siren by Eva. I don't think it's Eva. Eva Carboni. Sassari on the island of Sardinia. Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
She's not from around these parts.
Nope.
November 17th, 2024. That's right. Last year release. Missed it. Mad Ears Productions. Don't know who they are, but if they would love to talk and send albums our way for review, we certainly would do that. Song list. Walking a Tightrope. Slow Road to Redemption. Another blues song. Meant to Be. Blues Siren. Go figure. Wrong Place, Wrong Time. Don't Get in My Way. In the Streets of London. I've Paid My Dues. Little White Lies. Alive and Breathing. You Gotta Change. How does she know? Falling Apart Again will finish the album. Let the album listen challenge Redux begin. We'll start with let's start with Susie Q because she may have to get out of the dark and cold. We're at like -5 here. And that
Back
room
there with like a
not heated well.
blowtorch.
I know. It's 4 degrees currently, I think.
Oh, you
Any-
guys are warm.
Oh yeah, it's a balmy 4 degrees.
Mhm.
I'm chafing.
I won't even tell you how hot it is here
Okay, be
today.
quiet.
Yeah, we don't want to know.
We're gonna
Beautiful,
mute. We're
sunny.
gonna mute you. Mute you.
All right. Well, I went into this without knowing anything about Eva, and I can say her background seems like she has well, I'm just assuming here because who knows, but it sounds like such a magical, charmed life, being born onto this island and her travels to Los Angeles and the people she's meeting. I'm not really familiar with the people who worked on her with her on this album. Maybe I should be, I'm not quite sure. But I do agree the combination blues, rocks, jazz, you can pick all of them up very clearly. I don't know if that was intentional, and some songs she laid in harder and heavier than others, and somewhat more jazzy and somewhat more blues.
Yep.
But it was nice. It was a nice combination. I don't know if any of them, like, to be honest, I only had like about a listen and a half. I feel like it's one of those albums that you have to kind of get into a little bit deeper. But very nice. I like her voice. I like the arrangements. There's some really great guitar on it. I picked up I picked up notes of Chrissy Hines in some songs and
Yes.
some even a little bit of Celine Dion, and because I didn't know she was Italian at first. I knew obviously I could pick up something, but well, she's Italian, right?
Yeah.
Um,
She's Sardinian.
Sardinian. She's a sardine. But I didn't pick that up at first, and I was just trying to figure out, okay, what are the influences? And so yeah, I think it was an enjoyable listen. And I don't know if you're going through the lists yet,
Yep,
Mark.
I will. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
All
I
right,
think
so
so.
we'll
Let's
start
go.
with the album artwork, which we always start with. So, Sue.
Well, I mean, she's a beautiful woman, so she could pull it off. And so
Apparently she did.
Yeah. So I'll give it I'll give it a 3.5.
Ah, here we go. I'm gonna be decimating the-
You offered.
I know.
2025. Yeah.
How about the flow?
The flow, I was fine with it. I guess I'll give it a 4.
Band melody.
I think I'll give that a 5.
Accessibility.
Accessibility, I mean, there was nothing really difficult about it. I think you're either gonna enjoy it or you're not. I think that, again, I think it's one of these kind of onion type albums where it's the more you listen, the more you take away. So I'll give it a 4.
And production.
I will give it a 5. I thought they did a really nice job.
Alrighty then. Let's move to the dude.
Okay, well, all I heard when I listened to this album, and I listened to it 3 times, is Chrissy Hines, Pat Benatar,
Oh.
and
I'm sitting in the shadows and waiting by the phone since you've been gone. You got me singing another blues song. Yeah.
oh, I can't remember her name right now, but you get the gist. She's a hard pounding R&B bluest.
Mhm.
She's very much into what she does. You
Mhm.
can tell by the sound. She's really poignant and very, very gutsy in her blues.
Mm.
I really liked it. I really enjoyed the album. I will definitely listen to this again.
Nice.
But yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Artwork on that cover.
well, a 3.
A 3. Flow of the album.
A 3. It didn't. It flew, but it didn't. It didn't knock me off.
Yeah.
It did knock me out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Band melody.
This is a hard one. It's either a 3.5 or a 4. So let's make it a 4.
Okay. Accessibility.
A 4.
Production.
A 4.
And he already told us that he would listen to it again. Sue made mentions of having to listen to it multiple times. Would this be something you would listen to again, Sue?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So okay, good. All right.
Yeah, like Jeff was saying, she's committed. You can tell she's committed to it. It's like legitimate, you know. So some albums play, you want to go back in and take another listen and hear the lyrics a little bit more closely and the music, and this is one of those, I think.
Just doing some quick math. We'll be back after these messages.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yes. I'll give you a topic.
What's the topic?
I don't know. Is that an island? It is, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. Sardines.
Well, I have a question for you, host and creator.
Mhm.
How old is this young lady? Do you know? I tried to look it up.
I did not look it up.
Mhm. She has a very, very mature voice. I know that she went to some highly acclaimed school for vocal training.
Mhm.
She's got a really good control of her voice for sure. So
There we go.
her background, her mom was a gospel singer. Doesn't, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and her dad played harmonica. So she came about her music choices, I think, in her growing up years right at home. She didn't really have to listen to the radio too much to find out where she was going to lean, I believe. This album was interesting. I'm not a jazz person, but I didn't feel that it was real jazzy. I mean, the Siren part, the name of the album. Yeah, there's a couple of songs on this album that are very reminiscent of a Billie Holiday or someone of that nature. And
That's who I was trying to think of. Billie Holiday.
okay,
Okay.
there you go.
There you go.
Well,
I had a feeling.
Billie's one of my favorites. So when you can't remember, think of who does Deb like? Meant to Be was one of those songs. I think that song came on after Slow Road to Redemption that was very bluesy. And then it went into this Meant to Be Siren song, and you are transported like to a different time and place. Blues to me is timeless. I think that it stretches generations much more easily than a song like Meant to Be. It really made me go back in the past, and it was very comforting. Wrong Place, Wrong Time. That song,
Yeah.
that was a Mississippi Delta blues feel.
Mhm.
That
I don't wanna feel this pain. Wrong place, wrong time. The situation's bad. Living tonight. The feeling cannot last.
that's the kind of blues I love. Even Slow Road to Redemption, that was a little slower. What I loved about that song, though, was about 3 minutes in, there is a guitar lilty solo that was very reminiscent of a Clapton or a Page back in the day, just when they were doing more of their slow kind of romantic thing going on. Walking the Tightrope,
Oh,
that song.
stop. Don't get all hot and bothered now.
Well, I gotta go. Robert Plant's here. Walking the Tightrope, that was the opening song, and that kind of got you just ready to go. What's gonna come next? What's gonna come next? The one thing that I thought about you, Mark, though, Blues Siren, that song, out of all of them, it had a country feel to me. It did not feel bluesy at all. There's a part in the beginning that almost feels like Adam Sandler's going to break out and sing the turkey song. And
There
I'm
are.
not saying,
Go ahead.
I'm not saying that in a
Oh,
disparaging way
there
at
are, yeah,
all.
correct. There are moments on this album that you're because of your uncertainty, is as much as it says blues siren, there is a heavy jazz element to this recording, right?
Yes, there
But
is.
there's also where it falls off completely and suddenly Heart entered the room and we're gonna do Barracuda, right?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
Barracuda that way, but just sort of
No.
damn close, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I agree with you. Like someone's like, "Ooh, where are we gonna go now?" And then
There
she
was-
said Celine Dion. So yeah, I mean, the woman can sing in any register, it seems.
Well, I'm ready to score because I
You
have
ready
some
to
things
score?
to say.
You're
I'm
ready to score.
Do
I'm
it.
ready to score. Let's go.
Artwork.
Well, I wish I could. I mean, the name of the album was way better than the artwork. The name of the album prepared me for what this album was going to be, at least a little bit.
Yeah.
The artwork, no. So I just gave the cover 3 because I'm jealous of how beautiful she is.
Okay. All right.
We're just being honest here, kids.
Okay. All right. Flow.
The flow. The flow, I think that's where I'm a little hesitant on how to rate this, but since it was all over the place, I'm leaning towards maybe being a lower score. But what I was going to comment before I was scoring was the reason I like the flow of this album is because she's a relatively new artist and brand new to me.
Mhm.
And I think this album showcased a lot of what she can do and
Mhm.
what might come up in the future. So I'm giving it a 4.5 actually.
Okay.
But I listened to it 5 times.
Ah, nice.
You knew this is in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes. Band melody.
4.5.
Okay.
You know I'm going to be using the points now.
Yeah, I know it. I
Hard to resist.
opened up a can of sardines. I'm sorry. Accessibility.
What was this one? Accessibility?
Accessibility. Yeah. How,
Um,
is it easy to get into or is it difficult?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's enough of a range of crossover genres that a lot of people would find this accessible to them. It's certainly not Busta Rhymes. So I give it a 4.5.
Yeah. Freaking rethinking that one already. I just listened to that. I just listened to that today in the car.
Yeah, saved it for the end.
Yikes. Production
5.
for a total score of.
Can't add like that with all those decimal points.
Yes, I can. Damn it.
We're
No,
gonna
me.
get you a calculator.
21.5. Am I correct in that?
I think so. I don't know.
All right. I'll do the
And
average.
yes, I will listen to this again.
Yes.
I have listened to this
Yeah, again
again.
and again. Yes.
I
Yes.
have. I really like it.
Yes. All right. So the final notes here on mine. Okay, so artwork. Yeah, I mean, if 5 is the best, is it average? Yes. Does she get a little bit more points for it being gray? I went to 3. It probably should be 2.5, but I'm doing that on purpose because I think she should be in the running
Okay.
for this. So I'm gonna say
I do.
3. My flow was a 4.75. Now the reason I deducted a quarter was because the flow was a little disruptive to be disruptive, right? So you don't know what's going to come next, right?
Right.
And openings and closings to, you're like, okay, got it. You're coming down from that, getting into that might have been a little sketchy, but
Yeah.
It still works really well. And I would not tell her to stop doing that. I don't think. I think I would just be
Correct.
more cognizant of where
Mhm,
I mean, maybe the album, instead of going like this, could go like this, kind of
mhm.
thing. But I'm not a producer, obviously,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, can't produce these shows. The accessibility, I think this is one of the most accessible records, and I'm going to get into it in a minute as to why, that
Okay.
I've heard in a long time. There's
Okay.
nothing off-putting.
Mm-mm.
There's every wheelhouse imaginable that she could probably go to within the time span. And this is a long album of tracks. It's not a
Yeah.
long album of sort, but it is long enough. I mean, she didn't no 35 minutes here. This is none of that.
No, 50, it was about 50 minutes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
50?
So she made it worth the ride.
Yep.
Production 4.75. I thought there were a couple of areas where I might have heard things a little bit differently than they were. Maybe they could have sounded, but live it might be completely different, which is good too. So I hard to say on that one. So it didn't score it perfect. I mean, perfect is kind of reserved for albums that are very low key acoustically and mood challenge, and then of course progressiveness or a lot of
Mhm.
instrumentation. And this one
Mhm.
had a good range of that. So all right. I would compare her avant-garde approach to genre blending in jazz, blues, and rock environments to be very much like Beth Hart,
Mhm.
Bonnie Raitt,
Mhm.
Colin James. Maybe not in the male vocal side, but the
Right, but
choices seem to
yeah.
be old school, new school, and whatever I want to ram in between that has a
Yeah.
jazz side too, because Colin does big band and jazz.
Mhm.
Diana Krall, for
Mhm.
sure. When the
Mhm.
slow stuff
Oh,
happens,
you know what? I should have thought of her.
first
Yeah.
person I
Yeah.
thought, I'm like, what?
Yep.
Wow,
Yep.
bring it down. Nice, right? Yes, the
Mhm.
Pretenders, but I'll throw in a little bit. Okay. Is it exactly? No, I think it's Linda Perry from Four Non Blondes.
The blue siren bars over the states and towns.
I
Oh.
think we could go into that too, right?
Yep.
I mean, this album came to me from a search, and they were talking about albums that people blew it on.
Ah,
I honestly believe that is a fair statement from the place that it came from. This
Oh.
is one of those blues. Well, first of all, one of the best blues albums of last year, and I'm trying to think of all the ones, but this is and from an unknown source, and I'm interested. There are two prior albums you can look up. I don't know why I don't have them listed. That's terrible, but I will pop them up in the window here. I don't know, and you'll be able to search them that way. I'd like to thank the panelists for doing this tonight. So let's get this averaged out here, right? So
Yeah. Let's go.
calculator. So the first score that we know plus. So we have 22.25, 21 point. You hell of a calculator. 21.5. That was the score from Sue. The Grateful Dude, 18. And Deb, 21.5 for a total of 83.25. Yeah. So
By
this is a
20%.
20.8125 for the first score of 2025.
Cool.
So we'll be doing this next time around. I'll send the album out, but I'm going to wait and see if some albums come in. I listened to a couple of dandies, but we'll see what we do. Again, I'll thank the panelists for doing this tonight. What did you think of Eva Carboni, Blues Siren? This is from 2024. How would you have scored the album? Give us your scoring. Maybe what we'll start doing is start tallying those into it too. If we come up with a tie, the most people that put in and
Yeah.
so, but we'll return. I think it's in 2 weeks. We do this every 2 weeks. Is that right? I can't remember anymore.
I don't know. It's not my show.
Put the February schedule out, you idiot. Right? Anyway, we're on the web at beyondyourradio.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, of course, articles, videos, podcasts. Well, it's taking its time. It's all about albums, bands, artists, anything we can get our hands on. Go Beyond Your Radio with us, a real music appreciation channel. Thanks for watching and happy listening.
Bye.